This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
Sergio, Sergio, Enwa, you are bringing to finality of AFCON 2025 qualifiers. Sergio, not just 6 games. Sergio, you are bonding in every na you 24 teams na Sergio. Nyame boa next year, December 2025. Tournament today shasi to January 2026. Sergio, way more the list of the countries that qualify. Make up Morocco, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Algeria, DR Congo, Senegal, Senegal, Ubehu Ivory Coast, Ubehu Egypt, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Uganda, South Africa, Tunisia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mali, Comoros, Sudan, Benin, Tanzania, Botswana, and Mozambique. Sergio, Yanka says some of the countries in the a typical example is Comoros. Sergio, Comoros group now move Tunisia and Umu, but they managed to top the group. The Comorian team topped that group now. And Sergio, they made their debut in the last 2 editions. Cameroon 2021. That was the time that Comorian team made a debut into the AFCON. And they managed to progress beyond the group stages when they were paired alongside Ghana, Morocco, and Gabon. It was in the round 16 game against host nation Cameroon and Omuluzuye. And Sergio, they are back. Benin after 2019, Sergio, almost kote da Yebe kaya 2019 ni eni omune group. Michel Pote mo squad no eni Jodel Dosumu. Yani omune ball 2-2 draw. Eni Cameroon to aso boy eni Guinea Bissau by a ball group stage we the Beninois team progressed, eliminated Hervé Renat Morocco, Sergio. Before so Moruchi quarterfinals and eventually lost to Senegal. So the Beninois team also did a very good job by coming back into the tournament. A team like Uganda, Sergio, almost since 2019, Sergio, one team qualify to the AFCON. They are now back. And I think it's very good for them. Zimbabwe also missed out on the last AFCON in Ivory Coast, but they were there. Cameroon, they are also back. So Sergio, some of the countries, at least for coming back into the AFCON. Niemenia Giama almost Sergio, Botswana. And Sergio, teams are no more qualified backs now. Sergio, previous editions, near new moon group. Typical example like Comoros in 2021, like Benin in 2019, Botswana, any moon board the first group game of 2012 AFCON, Gabon, Guinea, Equatorial. Yes, you by a goal to nil. I remember that game, John Mensah, and a red card on that day. So we ended the game by 10 men, even though we managed to get the 3 points, So the Botswana national team, Sergio, are back into the AFCON. And for the first time since 2012. Sergio, and no man make shame about Botswana's football. Sergio, last 3 years in 2021, and almost signed a contract with First National Bank, make up the Botswana FNO. Almost signed a contract of 28.9 million Botswana pula. Omo currency ni dine no. Sergio, me a conversion ona sikano ye $6,931,428. Sergio, over almost $7 million for 3 years. Contract in a see a few way. So it explains you the reason why Champions League in 2021-2022 season, you see say Joanne Galaxy awoho omo Botswana club. And I remember that year they eliminated Simba and it reached that group stage. Group stage and near Mediama born and saying Sergio, it was Joanne Galaxy that eliminated South Africa's Orlando Pirates. And I remember they went into the group stages. Obiabekai, Tony Krabe yi that video no. That game against Wydad Athletic Casablanca of Morocco. Casablanca no. And no na work for no accuse you so mu ye juju because na we see be free players no around na we see be free or more ye warming up prior to the game no. And say group stage I be bo a few way Champions League. Make a CAF Confederations Cup 24-25 season. There is a Botswanese club in the shape of Orapa United. And Sergio, this explains to you the reason why Sergio and say surprise you. Because they invested in their league. Now, interestingly, Sergio, national team now only 2 players per and a ball outside Africa, Sergio. Botswana national team. No. Only 2 players per. Omu goalkeeper, Giovanni College. Now, Sergio, near Buffon say, Obo 4th tier side in Portugal. And then Brandon Wilson, also bought FC Bali in Indonesia. So you women had the 2 Botswanese players ball outside Africa. The rest of them are playing on the continent. Some of them in South Africa were the biggest player within the Botswana team, Tumisan Orebonyi. I remember in the season when USM Algiers were winning the CAF Confederations Cup, he featured prominently for them when they defeated Yanga. And Obeka Seyanga, and also Ewo Olympic Kuriba in Morocco. That's where Bebia Kwame Pukweko boy. The Tokwe Ewo Kaiser Chiefs. The rest of the guys, Mabaya and all the other guys, said, Munina, Ebo local league, no Rapa United, Police FC, Prisons FC, Joanen Galaxy, and Township Rulers. Said you, that is where Botswana have taken their league. And you should say reflect our national team performance. For the first time since 2012, Botswana have qualified into the AFCON. Said you, Tanzania, they say Omunya Sebeb. Okay, earlier this year, last year, 2023-2024 season, and Botswana for sign, Tanzania, signed a contract with MBC, National Bank of Commerce. Sejo Sikano a 47.2 billion Tanzanian shillings. Oye conversion is 17,784,597. We millions of dollars for the 5 years. Contract in the end 27-28 season for 5 years. And Sejo, for Tanzania the omunya sembia because you omo class omo perform on the continent. Simba, Yanga, they have done it. And for the first time, Yanga became the first Tanzanian side to have ever reached any CAF interclub competition when they lost against USM Algiers. So it's a way your national your league here say you translating to the national team.
Okay.
The same also applies to South Africa. South Africa, they are around June this year and almost signed a new contract with Betway. So you 900 million rands. Yes. Almost 49 points. 40 almost $49 million say you for the next 3 years. So say you say it's translating into the national team because majority of my boyina players ebo league ewa. Say you mwashi show standard ye tiha ye chiche bips ye chiche boots ye chiche. Say yo I'm on fire there. I'm on for doing it. People I'm on for kwajaye. Say yo na se washen nso. In those seasons Ghanaian clubs perform at least even entering into group stages, you know. Some of them you see say young players and are ending up at the goal king of the tournament. Samuel Emmanuel Osei-Kuffour, general, and he the top scorer when Hearts won the Champions League. Eric Gauga Tete was the top scorer in the CAF Confederations Cup in 2005 when Kim Faisal were there. Even Eric Bequin, when Kotoko couldn't progress beyond the group stages, 2008, Kotoko Frame group stages, he ended up as the top scorer. Share a few CAF Confederations Cup, Bowie and saying Abdulaziz Issa Mokoboye. The top scorers, Abdulaziz Issa and John Entry were part of the joint top scorers. So say, league domestic football year. Any just force kakrabine pianwa anymore. And this explains to you the reason why Egypt are always contenders on the continent, both club and national football, international football. Amount for a tukojaye. Yene football is a Jew. AFCON qualifies here, but yene Chad mo, any the likes of Eswatini mo, around 5 countries, Namibia mo, and Intimia winning a single game. Amount for are doing their domestic football. Omo the standards to ye tia players ke players tenaho ye tia mo ke and it's translating the performance of the national team. Manuesi.
Mefa Dr.